We are on a mission, actually 2 missions. We are up north here to test out the 2 solar generators here. The reason for that actually is getting nice coffee from the Nespresso machine. Thank you, Ursula.
You're welcome. And a cookie.
Nothing beats, cookies, my favorite ones. Nothing beats an espresso in the afternoon. Enjoy. Anyway, we are here up north to test out these 2 solar generators. Welcome to our escapades. Ursula is the navigator, my name is Dieter, and I'm the wheelman. We have the Allpowers S1000 here. We have 2 solar panels with it, and we have the BougeRV 1100 kilowatt hours, and we have 1 solar panel. The technical specs for both of these machines are in the description. We also brought some small appliances: the Nespresso Virtual coffee maker, a toaster, the kettle, the ICECO GO20 fridge, plus some other equipment like charging phones and computers. There were some limiting factors we knew about from the beginning. The Allpower delivers just below 110 volts. This is below the minimum requirement of 110 volt equipment. To be exact, 110 volt equipment is actually not 110 volts. It is 120 volts. So anything from 114 to 126 volts is okay, since the variance is within a 5% tolerance. Any low voltage will shorten the life of any mechanical device, such as a pump or a motor. It is more forgiving for heat-producing machines like a kettle or a toaster. For this reason, we only use the BougeRV for our Nespresso machine. We did some testing at home. The Nespresso Virtual on the BougeRV uses about 2.5% of the power per Nespresso coffee. The kettle with 1 liter of water uses about 12% and the toaster about 8%. Since we have the solar panels, no problems, we thought. But we didn't expect much from the solar panels because they are weather dependent. The first 2 days when we traveled up north, we barely had enough power to run our equipment. We had breakfast and connected the solar panels. We left for adventure around 10:30 and left the solar generators and the solar panels in the trailer. By the time we came back, it was 6:30 and we continued to charge. But it was just enough to actually have enough power for the breakfast. We topped up the power on the solar generators for 1 full day, so no adventure for that day. Before you say, well, charge it in the Jeep. Typically, it is true. We already have the computer, phones, drones and the ICECO GO20 connected to the Jeep. Our stock alternator produces 140 amps on 12 volts. The built-in 110 volt inverter is rated for 150 watt. If you draw more power than the alternator generates, it will take it from the car battery. We already had this unfortunate, unpleasant experience with a faulty battery in the camping trailer that pretty much sucked the car battery dry. With that in mind, let's connect as much equipment you have on the car battery, and then when you are somewhere out in the boonies, just to find out that the battery won't have enough power to start the engine anymore. Then, a few days later, the clouds rolled in. In 3 hours of solar charging, I got about 5% power. Next day, we got rain and more clouds. I could not connect the Allpowers solar panel because they are not waterproof. The slim design is great for handling, but not usable in the rain. Now, solar panels by design are waterproofed. Allpowers designed them to be not. The BougeRV solar panels performed as expected. The Allpowers didn't convince me with their performance. Now, switching gears. Our camping trailer has a 40-watt solar panel mounted on the roof. This is enough to keep the deep cycle battery fully charged with the built-in Nor-Cold fridge running on propane and the fire detector running 24 hours. We are back home and getting our gear ready for the next trip. We have to return the solar generators. We got them on loan for this one trip. Our final verdict is gonna be at the end of the video. I talked about the ICECO GO20 fridge before. This unit takes very little power. We left it in the chip overnight, connected to the BougeRV, just to find it without power in the morning. When the BougeRV senses less than 1 watt for 1 hour, it turns off the power. Not what we expected, but thankfully the nights were cool and the ICECO is well insulated. We built a dedicated table for the ICECO in the chip, and we used a window cover from the sleeping platform to cover the direct sunlight. Why do we even need a fridge and freezer in the chip, you may ask? Well, answer is easy. The Nespresso machine produces a ice espresso. We ran into an anomaly with the Allpowers. It turned off around 20% capacity. A reset brought it back to life, showing 10%. It happened twice before and it came back with 0% and 1%. We don't know if the device or battery is defective or if this is some kind of safety feature. Once the trip was over, it was time to clean our gear. The BougeRV has too many small grooves where the dirt can accumulate. Getting it out requires more than a damp rock. The Allpowers, on the other hand, is simpler, mostly flat surfaces. A damp rock is enough. All solar panels seem to attract dust. The damp rock was dirty after wiping down the panels. I wonder if this also added to the bad performance. What did we learn during these 8 days from running too many appliances on purpose? The Nespresso Virtuo uses maximum 5% for 2 coffees. That may be a keeper. The kettle and the toaster are a no-go. They drain too much power. I ran a test and had the laptop connected to the BougeRV. I spent several hours downloading videos and pictures to an external disk. It also takes time to recharge the drone batteries, the gimbal and 2 phones. That took about 50% of the BougeRV's capacity. Editing videos for YouTube takes many more hours, and it would likely be beyond the capacity of the solar generators. The portable solar panels are bulky and don't really fit anywhere in the chip. Going off-road, they might just break during a rocky passage. For that reason, we kept them in the trailers when we were out for adventures. Now that we figured out what does not work, we have a better understanding on what we need. The solar generator has to fast charge in less than 2 hours on 110 volts. The inverter must generate clean 120 volts. The solar panels have to be mounted on the top of the camping trailer. The solar panel capacity has to be as big as possible, only limited by the size of the roof. It has to have 12-volt DC output. All options of the unit must be accessible without using a smartphone, and daisy chain multiple units to increase the capacity, and preferably use them as standalone units as well. Now, nice to have options. Native USB-C with 65 watt must be able to support 16 hours of saving files and some video editing. My current guess is a minimum of 1200 watt per hour. The drone battery will likely require another 400 watt per hour or more. With a little reserve, that would make the unit about 2000 watt hours. Now in closing, the Allpowers S1000 is a fail for our needs, and the low AC voltage is simply a no-go. The BougeRV is not a fail, but nowhere near our requirements. The biggest miss is the lack of fast charging the battery. It did power the Nespresso coffee maker without fail, and for that we are eternally grateful. Cheers! The use of portable solar panels, in my opinion, is a gimmick. They are bulky and they don't recharge fast enough on a busy schedule. However, they look cool and may get you some respectful nods from your fellow campers. The portable solar generators could work well for the weekend warrior. You can easily calculate your total wattage for the whole weekend and purchase a corresponding unit. After the weekend, simply recharge the unit and you're ready to go again. And with that, thank you for watching, and we'll see you out there.